What's up, guys, and welcome to my list of the top 10 strongest characters in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Before we jump into the list, there's just a couple disclaimers here. Number one, I am not going to be including any DLC characters in this list, so right now the only DLC characters are Brawly and Bardock, and we're not going to be talking about them just because I think they're too new. We don't really know how good they are compared to the others just yet. And also, once all the DLC characters are out, I'll probably do a separate list kind of ranking them and how good I think they are. But for now, we're just looking at the base cast of Dragon Ball FighterZ. Number two, this is all my opinion. Obviously, I'm going to be basing this on stuff like tournament results or tier lists that have been put out by top players and stuff like that. But in the end, this is just how I feel about the game. And obviously, this isn't the be-all, end-all. This could change. People could find hidden tech with underexplored characters, or there could be patches, stuff like that. So this is all subject to change, and it's just how I feel personally. And then number three, I believe that all characters in Dragon Ball FighterZ are viable. So if you don't see your character on the list, don't feel like, oh crap, I guess I better drop my favorite character. No, I think you can definitely win with every character. It's just that if you play some of the top tier characters, you might have an easier time just because they have some stronger tools. But if you really like a character, I absolutely think you should play them, whether or not they're considered top tier or not. So, with all that out of the way, let's jump right in and start at number 10 on the list. And so, starting the list off, we've got Trunks. So, Trunks is a very well-rounded character. He pretty much excels at most ranges on the screen, and he's able to fill basically any role in the team. He's got pretty good projectiles. He's got some very good normals with his sword that gives him some extra range on a lot of his normals, and he's pretty easy to get hits and go into combos with. He also has good mid-screen overheads that he can combo off of with Super, and also he has a really good assist. His assist will go through projectiles, and it has really long range. And in addition to that, he also has a really good level 3 for Z canceling into. It does an absolute ton of damage, so I think he's a really good kind of support teammate character because of his assist, because of his level 3, and his ability to hold his own when he's on point as well. So that's why Trunks is coming in at number 10. Coming in at number 9 is Hit. Now, Hit is a really unique character in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Unlike most of the cast, he doesn't have any fast lows that he can start combos with, and he also doesn't have very good air normals, but where he really excels are with his long range, hard-hitting normal attacks on the ground. He can hit you from like half a screen to a full screen away, and he's really good at converting these stray hits into either combos or into his supers, which are very fast and reach across like the entire screen. He has full screen projectiles that he can combo off of with Super. He's got a counter if the opponent gets too aggressive, and guess what? That goes into Super too. And he's got these really long block strings with frame traps built in that'll punish the opponent if they press buttons. Or if they get too patient and just block everything, he has an unblockable that he can combo off of with Super. And everything he does can go into his level 3 Super, which is very damaging and very fast and hits full screen. So he's a really, really tricky character to deal with because he keeps you blocking for a really long time, and then when you make one mistake, he hits you very, very hard with his combos. So he's a highly technical character, but in the right hands, extremely powerful. Coming in at number 8 is one of my personal favorite characters. It's Yamcha. So on point, Yamcha has some pretty cool stuff. He's got some big normals that are good for pressure, but what really makes him strong is this attack here, the Wolf Fang Fist, which is kind of a 3-part attack where he can vary the timing and what side he hits the opponent on. So he can use this to really keep them guessing, and whenever they guess wrong, he can go into the level 3 follow-up, which he can then turn into a combo and start the situation over again. But besides all that, the real reason that Yamcha is on this list is because of his assist. His assist is just ridiculous. It's fast, it does a bunch of hits, and it keeps the opponent standing, which most assists do not. So you can use this for situations that other assists won't allow in terms of combos, or you can use it to keep the opponent guessing, start mix-ups, and then call the assist to be able to keep it going. Or you can use it to extend your block strings, keep the opponent blocking longer than they would normally have to, so you can continue your pressure more easily. And he has the ability to chain from a level 1 super into a level 3 super, which is very rare, so he brings a lot of utility to teams. He's a highly synergistic character who's really fun to play, so I think Yamcha makes a great addition to any team. Next up is Android 18, and ironically what makes Android 18 so good is her ability to call in Android 17 to help her out. So she does have some other things other than that, like she's got 3-hit low combo starter, which is pretty good in this game because it allows you to mix the opponent up high-low pretty effectively and convert into combos. And she also has pretty decent projectiles, like she can throw the disc, which will hit people if they're super dashing, and is pretty easy to convert into super. But like I said, what really makes her so strong is calling in Android 17. She can get a hit, she can call him in to make the opponent block, and then she can go into a mix-up, which then usually leads into another hit. It's very, very strong. In terms of a game plan, she's really, really hard to block because of this, and she's really sticky. It's really hard to get her off you once she's kind of in your face, mixing you up. And she also has a command throw, which adds yet another layer to her mix-ups, and she can convert that into super as well. So altogether, Android 18 is one of the best pure offensive characters in the game because of her strong normals, her ridiculous mix-ups, and all the setups that she can do by calling in Android 17. So if you're looking for a character to come in and just maul the opponent, she's a great choice. Coming in at number 6 is the Prince of Saiyans himself, Vegeta, Super Saiyan Vegeta to be specific. So on point, he's got some pretty good stuff. He's got the same 3-hit low combo starter that I mentioned with Android 18. He's got a completely invincible special move, which is pretty rare in this game. Not a lot of characters have invincible moves that don't cost meter, so he can blow through the opponent's attacks, plus he can chain it into super, which is very nice. He's also got a really good level 3. It goes through everything, plus it's got a huge hitbox that pretty much covers the whole screen, does a lot of damage, and it can be done in the air as well as on the ground. But let's be honest, if you're playing Super Saiyan Vegeta, it's pretty much for one reason. It's all about that assist. He has easily the best assist in the game because it does so many hits, it keeps the opponent locked down for so long, plus he comes in from really far back on the screen, so you can't like hit him out of it at all. It's just ridiculous. If you watch high-level tournament play, a lot of teams are running Vegeta simply because of the sheer power of this assist, so he definitely goes great on any team because that assist is so ridiculous. Next up is easily one of the most hated characters in the game. It's Kid Buu. So Kid Buu is an all-out offensive powerhouse who is really good at closing the gap by using his medium attacks that pull him towards you. And then once he's on top of you, it is just so hard to get him away. He's got these crazy overhead strings that he can kind of loop. He really doesn't care if you get hit or if you block. He's pretty much just going to keep doing the same thing over and over until you make a mistake. So he's extremely effective when the opponent is in the corner. He's also got this pink ball move that's really good for locking the opponent down and applying mix-ups. And that attack is also his assist, and it's a really good assist for making the opponent block and using that as an opportunity to set up a mix-up. So he enables a lot of stuff by putting him on your team, and he's just a great character in general. So he's very frustrating to fight, but very strong. Kid Buu is a character who, you know, he just gets in your face and he doesn't stop the pressure until your character is dead. Coming in at number 4 is Android 16. So Android 16 right off the bat has really huge normals with his standing and crouching mediums, as well as his standing heavy, which goes across like the entire screen. It also has the hit of armor, so it'll blow through the opponent's attacks and allow you to combo off of it. Also, being a grappler, he has some very powerful command throws. So he has a short-range command throw that you can combo into super. He's also got a long-range command throw that you can kind of mix in with your strings to keep the opponent guessing. He's got these anti-air grabs that'll catch them out of the air, very useful. But what really takes him over the edge is his Vortex gameplay, where basically if he knocks you down with a command throw, including his level 3 super, you're pretty much forced to guess while you're waking up. He can go into a bunch of different mix-ups, and if you guess wrong, the situation is just going to repeat himself. So whenever Android 16 gets a hit, it's really dangerous, not just because he's going to do a lot of damage, but also he's going to end the combo with a situation where you're forced into a mix-up, and if you get hit, it's all going to start over again. So very powerful character. If you watch players like Sonic Fox, he is completely tearing up the competition with Android 16. Getting into the top 3 now, first up is Goku Black. So pretty much everything I said about Trunks also applies to Goku Black, but even more so. So he's got the huge sword normals. I know his launcher is kind of like a meme at this point because of how ridiculously big it is, but holy crap, this move hits in so many situations where it seems like it shouldn't. He's also got this really good air dive kick special that goes like all the way across the screen. It's really hard to hit him out of it. You can use it in conjunction with assists to set up pressure from basically wherever you are on screen. He's also got the ability to mix up with overheads using his teleport attack, or he can go to the other side for a cross-up mix-up. Very strong for that, and he's got some of the best supers in the game, a very good suite of 3 different supers that are all very useful and very damaging. He's also got a good Kamehameha that he can mix up with a full-screen command throw to catch you blocking if you're just sitting there blocking the projectile. So in all, he's one of the most well-rounded, most overpowered jack-of-all-trades characters in the game. He uses meter well, he does a ton of damage, has huge hitboxes on his attack. So in general, you really can't go wrong with adding Goku Black to your team. He doesn't really have any overt faults, he's just a great character. Next up at number 2 is going to be Cell. So Cell has some really big hitboxes on some of his attacks, like his jumping heavy is really huge. He's got the crouching medium and standing medium have really long-range hitboxes, hit from far away. He's got really good projectiles, actually. The Kamehameha, his air one, is at a good angle that most characters can't cover, as well as that ground explosion attack. You can kind of annoy the opponent, and then if they try to super dash in, they can get hit by the Kamehameha. But what makes him really strong is these long, oppressive block strings that he can do with his really good normals. So in this game, it's important to note that you don't have any defensive options while you're blocking. You can do Reflect, but it's not really the same because if Reflect misses, it can be punished, unlike something like Push Block in Marvel vs. Capcom games. So if you're stuck blocking, you're kind of at the mercy of the attacker in this game for a long time, especially if they have assists. They can use those to lock you down, put in mix-ups with overheads and lows, as well as altering the timing to try to punish you for pressing buttons. So Cell is one of the best in the game at this. It's really, really oppressive. It's hard to get out of, and whenever he does get a hit, he just does a ton of damage. So Cell is definitely an offensive powerhouse, but he has some defensive capabilities as well. So I think he's really strong. I think you're going to see him on a lot of tournament teams. You kind of already are already, so I would definitely think that Cell is one of the best characters in the game. So before we get to number 1, I just have a couple of honorable mentions. First is going to be Android 21. She's got some nice big normals with her tail that are good for covering a lot of screen. She's got this ball that she can throw, which is crazy fast, and it interrupts Super Dash, which is handy. She's got good cross-ups with her jumping medium, and then her long normals let her combo off it pretty easily. So I think she's a good, well-rounded character. She just doesn't have like anything really broken, so she didn't quite make this list, but she's definitely strong. I think if you're looking for a character to round out your team, she is a great choice. And the other runner-up is going to be Gotenks. So Gotenks is pretty interesting. Nothing he has seems particularly overpowered at first. Like, he's got some stubby normals. He's got some normals with pretty decent range. He's got like decent projectiles and special moves, but nothing really crazy except for this one super where he summons these 4 ghosts, and then by pressing the buttons, you can attack the opponent with the ghosts. And so you can change your timing of when the ghosts attack and do some really crazy stuff. You can lock the opponent down really effectively and create a lot of cool mix-ups. So I think he's a super underexplored character. He's very technical, but I think someone is going to bust this character out at a tournament and really blow everybody's mind. So I can't wait to see that. But with that out of the way, let's jump in right to number 1, which is Adult Gohan. So Adult Gohan, in my mind, is easily the best character in the game. He is an offensive powerhouse. He's got these ridiculous normals. His crouching medium, standing heavy. These reach so far. They're huge. He's got this crouching heavy, which leaves him in the air, which means he can cancel that into his air kicks move. And by using this, he actually has even better block string lockdown than Cell. So he's really crazy for keeping the opponent locked down and stuck blocking. He's got great cross-ups both with his normals, but also with one of his special moves that automatically crosses the opponent up. Very hard to block in block strings, plus it leads into super. He's also very hard to block because he can fast fall by pressing down plus special, so it's really hard to block high-low because he's got this low-hitting standing light attack. So both left and right and high and low, he's very hard to block, and whenever he gets a hit, he just does a ton of damage. So in my mind, best offensive character in the game, best character in the game, period. I think you're going to see him so much in tournaments. We're already seeing players like Goichi tearing up with him because he is just so ridiculously good at getting in the opponent's face and killing them. So, guys, that's going to be it for the list. Thank you so much for watching. If you're looking for more lists like this one, make sure to check out my top 10 Street Fighter characters video. Or if you're looking for more Dragon Ball FighterZ content, I recommend checking out my ranked series, where I've been trying to level up at the game and get as high as I can in the online ranks. So again, thank you very much for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye, everybody.